celebrate another Thai Pongal with the dancers and the music. And can I have a shout out for the food, for Ruby's, because I think this food was fantastic. Really great, thank you. At Thai Pongal we remember food and the harvest, and we celebrate and think of wonderful things that have happened. And it's right that we should celebrate British Tamils and the community work that you have done. And while that is a celebration, we should also remember the sacrifices that people have made from the Tamil community for our society. And on a serious note, I particularly remember at times like these, a friend of mine who was a consultant in the NHS, Dr. Anton Sebastian Pillai. He lived in Surbiton in my constituency and became a good friend of mine over many years. And when he retired from the NHS, he thought he'd completed his service working for our wonderful NHS. But during the pandemic, he decided to come out of retirement to help. And he unfortunately caught COVID-19 and died. And so I do remember the amazing sacrifices that so many healthcare workers from the British Tamil community have given, and some gave the ultimate. And I particularly think of Dr. Sebastian Pillai because he was not only an amazing servant for our NHS, he wrote a history, he was a historian. He wrote the Illustrated History of Sri Lanka, published in 2014, which explains the significant cultural historical role of Tamils in the centre of the island, in the northeast of the island of Sri Lanka. So it is right we celebrate those amazing events. It's also right, though, that we think about what's happening in Sri Lanka today. Because while we are celebrating the harvest and some great things, there is a huge crisis in Sri Lanka. There's been a crisis, of course, with the shocking treatment of the Tamil people for decades now. But that crisis of the corrupt government of Rajapaksa and and the two brothers and their ilk is now being acknowledged by every group, every people on the island of Sri Lanka. And I think it's incumbent on us not just to reflect on that, but think about how we can help. So while the new President Wickramasinghe has reached out and wants to talk to Tamil people, representatives from the TNA and others, it's quite understandable when I talk to Tamil friends here that they don't trust President Wickramasinghe. Not just what happened a decade and a half ago after the Norwegian talks, but also because of their experience over, frankly, decades of not being able to trust the word from the Colombo government. And that's why, as leader of the Liberal Democrats, I want to give my voice and say that there should be international arbitration over those talks. There should be international overseeing and international support for the Tamils in those talks if President Wickramasinghe is talking in good faith to, as he ought to do, not just give the justice and the rights to the Tamil people and self-determination, but he should also, if he was a true statesman at this crisis for Sri Lanka, be recognising the amazing role that the Tamil community have to play to bring an end to that economic crisis. So I hope the British government, other international governments and the Sri Lankan government will heed this call and help play a constructive part in these talks, because it is a moment that could be seized with the right leadership. But I also want to talk, finally, about the wider role of the international community with respect to putting pressure on the Sri Lankan government to, at long last, do the right thing, be held to account, and so on. And we've seen leadership from the Prime Minister and Foreign Secretary in Canada. The recent decision to impose sanctions on the former Prime Ministers Gotabaya Rajapaksa and Mahinda Rajapaksa are absolutely right. And the time for fine words has gone. They led a corrupt government who was unfair to the Tamil people and unfair to everyone in Sri Lanka. And it's time we recognise that, and the UK played a role in putting pressure and followed the leadership of Canada on this critical issue. There is so much more that can be said, but there's much more music and dancing to be enjoyed. So let me bring my remarks to an end by first of all saying Nandri for inviting me and for this wonderful evening, but also Tai Pongal Valtukau.
Own Parliament, which is why it is now hosted here, and it gives me real pleasure, great pleasure, in wishing everyone here and members of the Tamil community here in the UK and across the world a very happy Tai Pongal. I am well aware of the cultural significance of this harvest festival to various communities across Southeast Asia. Tai Pongal reflects new beginnings, as we've been hearing and experiencing. Tai Pongal marks the end of harvest season and brings an opportunity for us all to reflect on the year, show our gratitude, and of course look forward to the many blessings that will come in the spring. It allows us to cherish the feeling of new beginnings and give us the courage to face what we may be met with in the new year, with vigour, with strength, and of course, with peace. As Tamil families get together up and down the country, the sweet Pongal-rich pudding dish will represent the universal message of love and of course that peace which unites all our communities. I'd also like to take this opportunity to congratulate and pay tribute to the tremendous contribution of the Tamil community in our great country. As we mark Tamil Heritage Month, we remember the fantastic role you play in all walks of life, ranging from, of course, the sciences, the arts, in business, and our public services, strengths that you bring to the fabric of our society. As the former vaccines minister, I had first-hand experience of witnessing the outstanding contribution of the Tamil community in the NHS and of course on the front line. I don't think there is a hospital in the country without a story of the contribution of Tamil doctors, nurses and practitioners. It was phenomenal and demonstrated what it means to be British. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for vaccinating and saving the country. So to conclude, I wish everyone a happy Tai Pongal and an auspicious year ahead. Thank you very much indeed.
As it was when people were first celebrating Pongal all those hundreds of years ago, and I would like to join with everyone in thanking everyone in the agriculture sector who play their part in bringing food to our tables. But it is also, as the Prime Minister said in his inspirational message, a great time of the year to celebrate the amazing contribution of the British Tamil community to our society, our economy, our culture. And like Rishi, I want to single out all those wonderful NHS doctors and nurses from the Tamil community that keep our NHS going and of course did such heroic work during the pandemic. And I could never address a Pongal gathering without a brief reflection on the situation in Sri Lanka. I know that how crucial it is that we secure the justice for the Tamil people that they've been denied for so long, that we see real accountability for those terrible crimes that were committed during the Civil War. And I'm sure all my MP colleagues who are here today to support you, will continue in our campaign to secure that justice for Tamils in Sri Lanka. But on a very happy day, I want to once again to give you my warmest wishes for a happy Pongal, and I'm delighted, it is my great honour to introduce the Right Honourable Nadine Zahawi, Chairman of the Conservative Party, who's going to address you. Over to you.